Howdy folks, how are you today? Our favorite day of the week. What day is it? Oh, it's hump day. And we got a long list of things we're going to do to the truck. I'm going to jump in there and fire it up and move it here shortly. And I'll take you with me when I do that. But just got off the phone with the Kenworth dealership. Called them about some door seals, some weather stripping to go around, and some locks. And they got me a lock set ordered that is the whole truck. The bunk doors, driver's passenger door, and an ignition for $235, and just the locks for the truck doors were $196. So I thought, why not just do them all while I'm doing them? So I'm not going to be changing those locks out, but I'm going to jack the cab up and probably paint that flooring, pressure wash the truck when I get that all dried up. But I'll jump in the cab and do some other things. And I've got some lights to install, some chicken lights probably. Not sure I'll do all of them, but I know I at least got to do the two front because the one bulb was out and was missing. And I've got a ton of these other ones that I'd ordered off Amazon, and I can't exactly remember their partisan, whatever how you say it. They come and they are this clear LED with the aluminum around it, shiny aluminum around it. So we're going to, you know, throw those on, at least the front. I don't know if I'll do all of them or not. I showed a video where I put some on the blue chalk just in the step here. So not sure I'll do this or not, but I have a template I had made and cut out, so I can put one right here, probably run one right around here, maybe one back here. I don't know because I've got that oil door on the other side, but yeah, one's gonna go right here. Probably throw that badge on too, because I've got that in there that I'd taken off when I had went up there for something. But yeah, right here. So we're gonna have to work probably right in here, and right in here, which that can come off, no big deal. It's not like it's a pure white trash sticker that I can't get anymore, and like the blue chalk. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get up in there and fire it up. Let's see if she'll fire up. I don't see any problem. Why, when I was doing the seat and everything like that, put that doghouse in, I did run that amp wire and everything, so that's good. Just got him hanging out down here right now for the turn up, turn down situation. But yeah, I put the doghouse in the cover. You can see that rip right there. So I just threw this over here for now, just to kind of protect it. And I'll end up getting a little cubby like I have in the blue truck and sticking right here. It sits a little bit closer because I used that hole, and I used that hole down there to run a bungee strap to hold that thing back, because that's about your only options in something like this, unless you want to drill down in here, which I don't want to drill down in there because I don't want to. So yeah, and for some reason that don't work, but it clicks in there. So I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check it out. Maybe have to install an aftermarket, or at least just get a set of different horns from auto parts store and hook that up. So yeah, other than that, should be good. And then maybe I'll take you down the road today. I don't know, I'm not sure. I'd like to run this truck down the road because I need to get it over to the shop. I need to call them and see what's going on over there and see what kind of situation they got, how busy they are, and things like that. Get those wheel seals in there and checked out. So let's fire this thing up. Oh, maybe I ran her dead the other day because she's just clicking. No, may have some issues. Well, hopefully that starter's not out. Looks like there's plenty of battery. No, may have to bring you back and tinker with some things. There's no way I ran that battery dead. If that starter's out, I'm just going to be irritated. What is going on? It's just clicking. Never had any problems with that starter before. So I guess I'll have to get down there and see what is going on. Maybe I got a wire that's loose somewhere. I may be pushing on that horn, blew a fuse or something. I don't know. I'll have to dig into some things. Yeah, it's just clicking. So I guess I'll be back with an update on that, because, well, that's not good. You know, we don't like things that aren't good. That's we got issues, and we don't like issues. So yeah, nothing but a click. So let me do some research here and see what's going on, and then I'll bring you back when I know better and can give you the inside scoop. So until then, you know what we say. Well, folks, got the old cab jacked up. Went through the batteries here, checked all those with the ohm meter. Everything seemed to have 12 volts like it should have. Got over here, checked on this old starter too, and it did, but still nothing. Even tried to take the old screwdrivers and touch the positive, negative, and see if they'd go, and they wouldn't. So I started looking around on the old interwebs for a new starter, because I figured it's probably gone. And I went upstairs because I checked the fuses and everything, threw the old charger on it too, and I've got plenty of voltage. So I went upstairs and got the paperwork from when I bought the truck. The dude actually had the receipt for the starter, and I wanted to see if there was any numbers on there, because I can't read any because that one's covered in grease and stuff, which I'm going to end up getting the pressure washer out and cleaning that up before to make sure I have the right numbers. But it said this is a soft starter, redefined electric soft start, reduces wear tear by slowly rotating the pinion until properly engages into ring gear before cranking. This also minimizes tooth abundant, ultimately to extend the starter's life. It's normal for the starter to click no start about 3% of the time. This click and no start is normal, not a warranty issue. So I don't think 3% of the time is working right now. I'm pretty sure this thing's toast, because it's not doing anything. And we've got over 12 volts reading on the dash. So I don't know. I even pulled that fuel cap off and checked that thing, and it's still reading negative E. It's going down, so I must have a ground somewhere on that. But yeah, check the fuses, swap those out, nothing. We got nothing. So I'm gonna pressure wash this up, throw some degreaser down there, because, well, it's awful dirty, nasty, and get that stuff taken care of. That way I can see if I can pull some numbers actually off the starter. We're getting out, and kind of tricky when the cab's jacked up, but we do it because we've done it plenty of times before. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. So I'm gonna get the pressure washer out, degrease this motor real quick and all that stuff down there, and I'll blast some of that grime and stuff off to see if I can get the parts number off it. That way I can order. There's a place in Detroit that is Motor City Remains is where I got the starter for the blue truck, and they can get that stuff to you super quick. I ordered a starter one day, probably like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was at my doorstep the next morning. And I think that was when the starter went out in the blue truck the first time, maybe the second time, because water pump went out on it last summer and just overheated everything. Starter went out, so I had to get another one, and they had that thing to me super quick. So if you're ever around the area and you need a starter, that's who I would suggest. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now, is switch gears and pressure grease that thing, degrease that thing, and pressure wash it up, and I'll see if I can get some numbers to order that part, and then I'll move forward and start doing some other things. And I may even try to start it again. Who knows, maybe it's just dirty and wants a bath, because it probably needs one. So we'll see. Well, folks, got a hold of the Motor City Remains, and they couldn't get a starter. Said they couldn't pull nothing up. Called the place that had the receipt from, and they gave me the part number. So I ended up finding one on Amazon for $194. I think it cost me $207. Should be here between the 10th and the 13th or 15th. So hopefully it comes sooner than later, because kind of need that to be able to do things. But while a cab was up, which it's down right now again, I painted some of this under here. It's kind of windy, so I didn't do everything, which I just threw a quick coat on real fast to get that taken care of. And then I decided that jack the cab back down and mess with some other things, because there's really nothing I can do. I can't change those fuel lines out, because I can't start the truck to run it to see if, you know, there's going to be any more leaks when I do swap them out. So decided to throw the badge on here and put one of these on. So I swapped that out on the other side because this side was already missing. Just clipped them wires real quick. Now I'm gonna end up drilling and throwing one right here, probably somewhere in here. I'm not sure yet. I know I talked about it already, but I've gotta see what's what on the other side. And I swapped the other side out too because the one that was on there was super nasty and ratty, and it wasn't gonna stay on there obviously. So that one's on too. So I'm gonna do one here, and then I'm gonna bring one of those out and see if I can fit one here. If not, may just have to go right here, and then just have the two in that one, because if I don't have enough room here, it'd kind of be silly to try and slap one on there. And I'm not gonna put one on the door. No, don't want to. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And I do got some different lights for back here that I'm gonna throw on, which we'll go in the garage real quick and check it out, because all the dash lights are already green and were green, and I did have green lights up in the truck. So, and I showed you those ones I got, but I've got these big spotlights which are green. So let's hook you up right here real quick and see what kind of view you got right there. We've got our nice little 9-volt out here like we usually like to test things and see what's good. So let's see if we can get some stuff moved around and the wires to touch the right spot that we need them to see if we've got, oh, wrong side, some lights here. Yes, we've got green lights, folks. So those are going on the back of the truck, just like the blue truck has the blue spotlights. So that'll be fun. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I've got one light that's not working on the speedometer, which I've got extra ones of these. Also some smaller ones too that I'd ordered on accident because I didn't realize they were going to be that small. They're like babies, super small, but they do have some little fittings that go with them to be able to make them the big ones like that, but I don't think they worked the time I did them. And I've gotten these ones which have the positive end on the side, and the side is ground whatever, and they're flat. But I think I needed one of these for the speedometer was different. So I'm gonna get up in there and do that too. So basically that's what I'm gonna do today. And then I don't know what else I've got on the list to do. Besides, I can't change those door handles out. I probably could throw that license plate bracket on. I probably could swap out those headlight bezels, and I probably, if I really wanted to, could fab up the front mud flaps and put those on if I wanted to, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm just going through the motion right now of doing things. I gotta do those other running lights first, those chicken lights if you will, and then I'll just continue to do things. So I'll bring it back once we get everything all lit up. Probably be tonight when it gets dark. I mean, I'll show you what's installed and stuff like that and what I did do, but when it's dark, maybe I'll kick the lights on, because I mean, while we've got power and we can use the lights and things like that, we just can't run the truck, which is a total bummer. But you know, I'm gonna talk about something real quick, and I'm extremely fortunate and thankful and lucky, if you will, that that happened here in the driveway and not somewhere else. Because if I would have got that thing over to the shop and that would have went out well, they would have wanted to change it there. They would have charged me for a starter they got probably. That truck would have sat there until they changed it out. Then I would have had a labor charge on it. And I've changed those out before. Yeah, they're kind of heavy and it's kind of awkward sticking them up there, but I used a jack, just a ratchet strap to, I wrap it around there and I just crank it up to pull it up, so I'm not sitting there all, you know, digging and bending and doing the weird stuff trying to get it up and struggling. So that's what I do when I get them in, and I'll just slap that bad boy in right in the driveway. That drainage system ain't gonna be forgiving because it's so thick, but I'll lay some crap down and do that. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So let me get some lights on here real quick, and those are super simple. You know, you just drill out, and did I show you the template yet? If not, I'll grab it real quick. I've got it down. Trace this out of cardboard when I was putting the blue ones on cardboard, and you know, got my holes and stuff like that to where I can lay that on there draw those holes, drill them out, and slap that bad boy right up there and not have any issues with, you know, the placement. It's just making sure it's straight, I guess, is the problem. Because sometimes, well, that cab's leaning back, so right now it's going to be a little crooked, but I'll use the old eagle eye and try to get it to where it is straight and good enough for me, because, well, sometimes good enough is just what it is. So I guess once I get some of this stuff done, I'll bring it back and maybe we'll kick the lights up. And I may even get into some pinstriping and get that all taken care of. I got to run that plug in to the other side, which I've got the little thing over here that mounts right up to that. I think it's a little ratty. I've got her in a windowsill here. So yeah, it's a little ratty, but that's okay because we can paint it whatever color we want to, because obviously it was painted white. And then clip those wires, throw that on there, and wire the other ones up and throw that on there too. That way we've got the plug right in the front. We don't have to worry about getting down anywhere and doing weird stuff. So that's that for now. Bummer about the starter, but it's what it is. Like I said, I'm fortunate it happened here, so always happy and glad when things happen in your driveway and not somewhere else where you got to worry about paying somebody. So howdy folks, how are you tonight? Didn't really do much on the truck after I, you know, talked to you. I was all dirty and I didn't want to get in there climbing around, so I went and took a shower. Then the next thing, the wife was gone up to baby mama's house taking care of the grandson for a little bit, and then she said she was on her way home, so I just kind of waited around until she got home. And then we went to the county fair a couple towns away, and we were gonna go Sunday, never made it because I was doing stuff on the interior of the truck, putting that flooring down, the seat in, you know, buttoning that stuff up, the steering wheel and whatnot. So we went over today, and we went in with $60 and we walked out with 10 because we ate everything we could, like you do when you go to the fair. Had some gator for the first time. That was amazing. Piece of pizza, sausage sandwich, french fries, you know how it goes. Corn dog, cheese curds, elephant ear, candy apple on the way out. But anyways, like I told you earlier, I'll turn some of those lights on because I did do some things just a few minutes ago when I got home. I fixed the dash light. I tried to install these backlights like I showed you, the green ones, and since there's not a ground wire coming out, usually I just put one of these on and bolt it right to, you know, this guy. Put a wash on there, bolt it right this guy. That's how I have the blue truck set up, and they work fine. But for some reason, the green truck's being stubborn and they're not wanting to work. So I may have to run an actual ground wire from somewhere else. And I don't know. It's not a big deal. I just gotta figure it out. It's dark out, so I'm not going to, excuse me, do that right now because I can't really see in the dark. But I'll mess with it tomorrow or the next day or whenever I get to it. Probably tomorrow, because who knows when the starter's gonna come. So I'm basically going to do everything on the outside that I need to. You know, and I may get into some polishing too. I was telling the wife that since I can't, you know, do anything with move the truck basically. But let's climb up in there. Sorry if it's dark, and we'll get some lights on so you can see what we got going on in there. So let's climb up in here. And yeah, it's dark. It is dark, folks. But let's kick these on 4 ways. So we got some flashers. Hello. Hello, bright lights. Let's get out and do a walk around. Show you those one lights on the side there that I'd put on. And I can't wait to start running this thing because these LEDs are just amazing. But yeah, this guy was pretty much blowed out. Pulled this out real quick, changed those all. Those are nice. They're not super bright, but they're bright enough at night and stuff. And I did install some of those toggle switches, but there's that one. It's not super bright. Oh, there's your LEDs. The top. You know, I talked about putting some up there, but I didn't because I couldn't find the ones, and I didn't want to mess with it, and I just wanted to get the interior and stuff back in, which also I've got to do is drop that top panel take that carpet off and I can install something and run some wires. So it's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, I didn't add any of these other lights anywhere else because I was went in to shower. So I was clean when I went in to get into the truck. And then she said she was coming home. So, oh yeah, those things are mega bright, which is fantastic. So let's kick the brights on so you can see how bright those things actually are. Oh yeah, look at that. Tractor beam. Now, any motherfucker come up to me, coming at me, got their brights on, you know, I'm gonna throw it. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna give them to them. Oh, those things are super bright. So yeah, I don't mind rolling down the road with this truck because, you know, if somebody's got the LEDs and their lights are on and their brights are on and they're not paying attention because they might be on their phone or something, yeah, these things are good. Like, hey, guess what? You're brighting me, I'm gonna bright you back. Yeah, get your eyes on those. I don't know if you can see those very well. All those nice shiny toggle switches on there. And it's dark, so we'll get your eyes better next time, you know, during the day. Probably tomorrow I'll come back and I'll do some of that other stuff. But yeah, I got this thing out here and I can plug it in here and I'll probably end up sticking it right here. It's the old 3-pronger and it's green, but for oddly enough, one of these lights already don't work on here because these lights on the side light up and so does this little switch and so does the top of this, but one of these don't light up, so may have to go back to the Maynards and try to get another one because we want all three. But if they don't, oh well, I guess. So that's what we got going on. Let's get this off. And you know, I did turn on, sorry if it's dark, but I'm still gonna talk. So I did try to start this thing again, turn the key over and nothing but a click. So, you know, even if I was praying that this thing would start, just ain't gonna do it. So once we get that starter, you know, that'll be something you'll be able to see too. I don't know if any of you guys changed a big truck starter, but if you haven't, you're gonna get to see what it's like for a small guy doing it because, well, Jimmy rigged things up because that's the kind of guy I am, to make the shit easier and work better. So yeah, I just don't understand what's going on with these lights. No problem working here, just like this, on this this old battery. It's a little 9-volt battery. It worked fine. Look at that. Worked fine with that 9-volt battery. They just don't have the ground, so I'll have to run a wire probably and just snag it down, maybe clean up because there is paint on that. But you know, there's paint on the blue truck's frame too, and I have it exactly the same in those ones work. So, and I don't think it'd be the washer, but maybe it could be the washer. So maybe I'll have to eliminate the washer that's on there and see if I can get maybe a thinner one that would work. I don't know. It's all trial and error, I guess, from here. So yeah, I guess until the morning and I come back and I'm a little bit better looking without these glasses on. You know what we say, we will see ya. Howdy folks, how are you this morning? Next day after yesterday, because that's what happens. Next day comes. And yesterday when I was getting ready to jack this cab up, made a boo-boo, and I left this thing in lower when I started jacking it up. And next thing you know, I had a shot of juice that squirted over there, and this thing pretty much looks like it dripped everything out over here. And I've always had a drip here, and I've thrown some silicone and stuff over there, try to, you know, clog it up, but it didn't work because I just hill jacked it because that's the kind of guy I am. And this was a little bit low of fluid, so I had added some last week over here because that's where you add it, and then you fill this pump up, you know what I mean? And then, but you know, I lowered it down one time, it just scooged all out the side and just boo, went down. But then yesterday it did this, so I got to take this off and fix it. And that is not that old. Put that on brand new because when I got the truck, this thing, there was something wrong with it and it leaked. And the dude would put a pan under there, or a little like Tupperware, and catch all this fluid and then sit there and stick it back up in there because it leaks so bad. When I had that issue with exhaust come off and we had to change that air thing, That's exactly what happened. And I don't, how did that get all scratched up, I wonder? That's a mystery too. But yeah, when we jacked the cab up, when that split that Aerodyne, that thing was a pain in the butt. So this thing was like one of the first things I had to get changed up because it leaked so bad it wasn't funny. And it came out, the ring must have been blowed up here, so every time you jack it up it squirt out spooge down there. So the dude would sit there and refill the stuff with it, and you get it jacked about half the way up, and it was just a hot mess. So I got to take that apart before I can do anything. I got to run the wife uptown anyways real quick. So once I get back, we'll get into some of these lights and stuff, and I'll get up there and figure out what the deal is with those ones. And hopefully we'll have a good day and get a lot of stuff done, because I want to get a lot of stuff done and have a good day. Not like yesterday, that starter. And oddly enough, I'm talking to the wife this morning first thing, and she says, hey, I got an email about your package. It was sent out. Should be here Friday to next Wednesday or something like that. She says, but the only problem is it's shipping FedEx. And I said, oh God, I'm gonna have to order another one probably from somewhere else, and then wait a month for that one to come back, because you know what happened the last time, since it's gonna be a heavier part. And I'm gonna end up with two probably, hopefully not, but two. And if that's the case, I mean, I guess I got a backup plan. Even though I don't want one, I'll have a backup plan. Got some heavy equipment getting ready to come down the road. That's what that noise is in the background. So till we get back, you know what we say. Just got back from the store, ran up there with the wife. She needed to make a bank deposit anyways, and picked up some number 8 O-rings, because when I took them off they were the number 7, and we still got some leakage going on here. But I took the liberty to throw some thread tape on here, or not some thread tape, but some medium blue thread juice. That way hopefully that'll set up in there, and because it's a little bit loose when you thread these in. But these are the ones that I took off the other one that dude had on here. And come on, stop it, dripping down on there. Tighten these up by hand, and then I'll give them like one crank, and hopefully this will help around here, because once these hoses get hooked up, which they're in the bottle right now, they'll go right in here, and that'll hold that hopefully. And I'm not cranking over super hard, just enough to where it'll tighten up. And let's get your eyes on something real quick that buddy subscriber and longtime commenter sent me. Outlaw Trucking Life sent me this for the truck. It's a KW fuel cap here, and I talked about this when I did the walkthrough and showed my showed all my little trucks inside the house at one time. Sorry if you're crooked. I'm doing things over here. Yeah, big shouts to him for sending me that. He was asking if I'd got that on, and I put it on last week when I swapped that air ride out, and I'd never said anything about it. So there you go, buddy. It's on there. Fits good. You know, looks cool. I'll have to clean her up a little bit when I do the tanks, because obviously I've got a mess here because this shit's still dripping out. But I'm gonna throw these things on real quick, and at least, oh shoot, I don't know which one was which. Okay, I think this was the bottom one. Well, I guess we'll figure it out when we go to crank her up. I'll at least get these on here so we ain't got no drippage going down. I probably should have marked these, but I didn't, so whatever. Get your eyes back over there. This is gonna be a mess. Just stop dripping. I think that was the top one. I don't know. It almost feels like it was the bottom one, the way that looks. What James Pretty's up to. You guys know who that is? He's got a couple K100s. Trisha and Crystal. Me and him, we've been talking here lately through private messenger, and yeah, we've been chatting back and forth. If you don't know who that is, go check him out and watch his stuff, because he does things that I don't do, like swaps transmissions, changes those front panels and stuff, all kinds of things, engine work, you name it. And while you're over there, tell him I sent you, and tell him I need one of those shirts that said, "It ain't easy being pretty." I'll take a schmedium and I'll cut the sleeves off, and I'll rock that bad boy on my videos, because that would be fantastic. Always like to support other people. And you know, that's what we do around here. So, you know, big shouts to him. Big shouts to Outlaw Trucking Life. And I was going through my subscribers yesterday. My subscriber count's been going up. So big shouts to everybody who has subscribed here lately, and liking the videos and stuff like that, and commenting and whatnot. And was going through, and I seen old Peterbilt Mike subscribe to the channel. So big shouts to Peterbilt Mike for subscribing to the channel. That was cool. I like that. I seen that and I thought, oh my goodness. And that dude's just hilarious. You want some comedy while you're watching a video about somebody doing stuff to a truck and learning things? Go check him out. He says some funny things. I was rolling last night watching one of his videos where he was putting on the single stack on the Peterbilt, and he said, what do you guys think about this? I think some 96-inch West Coast turnout would be probably perfect for that truck, Mike, because that's not, 96 inches isn't going to be too far above the cab, but it's going to be high enough to where it's going to kick all that exhaust back and not get on anything you're towing. So yeah, that's what I do. That's the West Coast turnout right there up on that one. So that's what that would look like in the curvage, because you just got the straight one on right now. He's putting it on, and so I don't know why I just did that, but yeah, hopefully that stops the leak. And I did get a call from the Kenworth dealership. I don't know if I told you that or not, but my lock set's in, and those gaskets around the door, they said they had those in stock. So we are going to get ready to run up there real quick and grab those. That way I can put those on and, you know, keep plugging away at this thing. And maybe I'll get the polisher out. I don't know. I'm going to have to wash it again, but I got to figure out if that is the right, you know, hookup for that, because, you know, I just threw them on there and, well, I don't know. So this hand's dirty, this hand's not, so turning you off is going to be tricky. But you know what we say, until the next time we come back and we're doing something. Well, folks, what we got going on, we got some chicken lights down the side. I've got them in. I haven't wired them in yet, because when I was messing with these, for some reason, like I said, this won't just ground out. So I actually ran a ground from the front chicken light that I'd ran yesterday, and it worked with the ground just wrapped around that. So anyways, I'm gonna have to tack one of the back grounds coming off of the back chicken light to this and or running light, whatever you want to call them. But basically what I did was I went with my template, put it up where I wanted to, marked out the spots, drew the square out, made an X in it. That way I knew that was. Use this guy right here to drill these out. Use this guy right here to drill in here. Sometimes I had to use this. If he went in and had issues getting in there and tearing stuff up, I just shoved him in there and cleaned him up. So we'll go out there and check them out real quick, and I'll explain something. Because the spacing isn't completely correct on one spot here for this oil fill in the door, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Boom, that'll be cool. So the spacing's off because of this right here, which I'll throw some kind of trashy decal right here. It's no big deal. And I got something that's going to go on the other side. And this one, you understand when you're over here why that's spaced like that. So it's what it is, but you know, whatever. So over here, you tell that, you know, because that door's not there. So what I'm going to put right here, and this is what I had in the cab, I think it was more right in the middle, but it's going to have to get shoved over here because of the way this stuff's spaced out. And I think it looks pretty straight for the most part, which I'll throw some trashy decals around those, so you know it's all an optical illusion and you ain't gonna be able to tell anyway. So, and if you are, man, you got a good eye. But anyways, what I'm gonna put here is no free rides, gas, cash, or ass, because that's what I had on the other one. And my wife, she says, what, I didn't know you had that on there. I'm like, well, obviously you don't pay attention very much, do you? So that's going back here, because we don't give no free rides, unless it's you know, a thumber that's been traveling long ways, hobo. I pick up hobos. You pick up hobos? I pick up hobos and give them a ride to the next town, whatever, wherever they need to go and squat for a couple days or whatever. I don't ever mind, especially if I see somebody like at one time I seen a dude, he was sitting up at the first rest area off of, I think it was 69 in Michigan. Coldwater, the Coldwater, rest area, and people were just talking down to him, treating him like shit, saying rude things to him. So, and I was in a Ruan truck and I wasn't supposed to have passengers, but I just said, hey dude, get your shit around. When I come out the bathroom, I'll take you to the next exit so you can get out of here, so you don't have to sit here. Because he was going to, can't remember the town in Michigan, maybe somewhere around Ann Arbor. He was walking there from somewhere in Indiana that was around Indy, and he was walking there to be with a girl that the love of his life and stuff that he had been with before. And I just thought that was sweet, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take you, even though you kind of smell because you've been out in the sun and probably ain't showered in about 4 days. But I took him anyways, dropped him off on 94 and let him walk. But I just figured, you know, at least I got him out of there. I can't stand that. And I've picked up other people at different truck stops or rest areas before and just took them down to the next place if I can help them out. You know, because I know you can tell when it's somebody's a hobo, or, you know, I don't know what you call them, a thumber. And it's nothing personal. Call them a hobo. That's just, you know, what they are. So I'll pick them up and take them wherever, but probably not in this truck because we don't want anything getting stinky. Because I honestly picked up a couple one time, and they stunk so bad. My leather interior stunk for like a week. And I mean, I had to go through and clean that stuff out, clean that stuff out, clean that stuff out like 4 times before I get the smell out. It was just horrendous. So you always got to be careful when you're picking up thumbers. I'd rather pick them up in a pickup truck, so I can just say, get in the back. And I don't have to worry about the smell, whatever. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Hopefully I can get those wired up today. Probably get out the old solder iron, and when I run those wires, because I'll connect them all together from the front main one, and then I'll run a ground wire from that back one there right up to where those lights are going to go, because they're going to go up here. They're going to sit right here in this hole at an angle going this way, pointing straight back. But yeah, hey, guess what? This thing looks like it stopped leaking. Maybe it's got a little bit of a seep. I don't know. Maybe it's just from before when it was so juicy. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna run a ground from this guy right here. He's just gonna be hidden, come right around here. Oh, that is gonna be a pain. And actually, he's gonna go, well, that's just gonna be no fun. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do this, folks, because when that cab lifts, I may have some issues. May have to run it all the way up to the frame, to maybe the front one. Yeah, that's probably what's going to have to happen. That's going to have to go all the way down up the frame to the front one. Or what I can do is run one off the front one back here and then splice it somewhere, because I've got the power wire spliced up in the front, which I may run some different ones because they're 2 different sizes and they're a little bit shorter than what they need to be. But anyways, I'm going to run it from that one, splice it, and then I'll just shove it up and just keep these guys together, because they need to be together since they're one. So that's what we got going on. So once we get all this crap done, which is tedious work, you know, I'll bring you back probably later tonight like I did last night and show you what they all look like with all the lights on, because we should have them all wired up. But I don't know. We're running up to that dealership to get some stuff. Who knows if we're going to get back in time. So could be pushed off until tomorrow. I guess we'll see. Well, folks, I'm back from running to the dealership. They were the wrong locks, so I told them just to keep them. I wasn't going to pay $230 something for locks that were not the right ones. So I'm going to have to either clean these ones up and reuse them, or just try to find some on Fleabay, because I know I've seen some. But anyways, let's get into this real quick. We got some lights going on here, and I'll show you exactly how I did these ones. And I'm going to have to go over to the other side and do them too, but then I'm going to have to splice that wire in for those, like I said, the grounds. So basically just took the wires, hooked them up to the other ones, and I soldered them basically like this. Just took this one, split this with the old wire strippers, and just peeled it apart to where I could wrap that other one around, and soldered that in there with the little solder gun. And then these are heat shrink. I'm going to get out the old hair dryer, blow 1,200 million, and heat those up and shrink them around there. And then I'm going to end up running, I've got that sweet little tube stuff that you put on this stuff, and then I'll end up tacking it up in here. But everything's tacked up in here and behind. The only ones I haven't done were the front ones. I just have them on wire, those wire nuts right now, or electrical nuts, whatever. That way I could see if they all would work before I heated them up, because I didn't want to, you know, heat them up and do all that stuff and then them not work. but they all work, so that's cool. So let's go kick that light off real quick, and then I'll get back to doing this, because yeah, obviously, as you can see, none of these work because they're not done. And what I'll do is here is the wire that is spliced over here. It runs back here and is spliced under here, which I got to cut some zip ties and stuff, and you know, it's spliced right here for the power for that. And then I'll just run a ground from this guy, because that power wire is going somewhere else, but I can ground off this wire and it'll be fine, because that's the only ground wire that I know of so far. And I'm just not completely thinking that I can just run it to the frame, so I'll run it to that one, and then I will tack them in just like the other ones. So that'll be that. Oh, here's these. Check these guys out. Aren't they nice? I gotta do something about this to get this a dark color. I'll probably just do some kind of paint or stain over this to get it to match up with that stuff down there, because it's kind of odd. That's brown and that's gray and everything else is black in here and gray. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I don't want to have to take that stuff off and take every single one of those things out and do all that crap. Yeah, they tried to give me some crap that was not even the right stuff for these locks. You can't see in there. There it is. Yeah, it totally wasn't the same. I can tell you that much right now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something else. So maybe it was, I don't know. They say it was, but maybe I'll just take them out and see, and maybe if they all come up and say, hey, do you still got those locks? Maybe I'll just order some online, that we don't have to drive 45 minutes up there. Because they tried to get a battery box too. Somebody said that that battery box, Kenworth still carries those, because those swap onto W900s also, and they didn't have any, so I'll have to order one online, because I know a place over by Chicago that makes them. So when I get back and all that stuff's done, I'll hook you up and we'll light it up at night. But I just wanted to show you how I was doing it. You can do that any way you want to. It's just how I'm doing it. Solder, heat shrink, and here's this Mega Furrow, Wagner, whatever you call it, heat gun. So, well folks, we're back and it's dark out. So we're gonna go out and kick all those lights on and check them out at night. Got everything ran, everything works. Those green lights are up and on. Just need to tuck everything up tomorrow. It was getting dark and it was starting to cool down, and the wife wanted to get ready to go to sleep. So I went in and hung out with her a little bit, watched American Horror Story, and then she went up to bed, and I said I was coming out here. But here's some floor mats I got. I don't know if I showed you these or not. Hopefully they'll fit right in there, no problem. Because it's got this notch here for the brake. Gas pedal should fit right up under here, and it's got that little notch right up there. So hopefully this will be good and I don't have to trim it, and then it's just a regular one for the other side. And these door seals right here, which I'll change out, you know, within the next few days. Not sure if I'll do anything tomorrow or not, because we are going to go to the auction that Richard Rollins from Gas Monkey is having over in Auburn, Indiana, because we don't live too far away from there, and he's selling that Denny Cannonberg collection. So we're going to go up there and check that out either tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure. Not auctioning any automobiles tomorrow, which that's what I'd be into. But they do have some memorabilia that I would like to get if I could. So I don't know. But let's jump up here real quick. So that'll be cool. Now hopefully I can take you with me. Not sure if I'll be able to, but we will see. You know, and that'd be sweet to be able to meet the big monkey Richard. So I don't know. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We got the dash lights in here, and I gotta kick that on because that those green lights only work when the power's on, but the other ones work fine. But since I wired it up like that, you know, there you go. 5 lights on that side, and those green lights are bright. I didn't kick on the headlights because you've seen those yesterday, but you know, those ain't too bad. I don't mind those. They look cool on the truck during the day. Yeah, look at those. That's sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Those aren't exactly tight and stuff like that. Just threw them up there real quick and wired them up so I knew they were good and would work. But yeah, that'll be cool. Boom, Betty White all lit up from those things are bright. But hey, we got our chicken lights. So yeah, this thing will look cool rolling down the road. And they're not as dark of an orange as those ones on the top, but I think they'll be fine because they don't look bad. I'm kind of irritated about the whole starter thing, but I'm kind of glad it did happen because it gave me the opportunity to do this. Stinks that we were gone for so long today because we were gone for about 4 hours. That one's kind of weird with the step there, but it's how it is and it's how it's got to be because of that, you know, oil door on the other side. But yeah, those green lights are just killer. And those things, those blue ones, they push out down the road. They probably go for half a mile. So yeah, like I said, it kind of stunk that, you know, the starter happened, and I guess we'll be doing other things until we can finally move it. And you know, other things I need to do, like cleaning more, tuck up the back, get that subwoofer mounted, because I got some spots. I put it in and drill it so it stays up in there good. And maybe get some polishing on that chrome, see if I can't figure out what's going on with that fuel gauge, get that thing working again, because I've had problems with it before, but ain't no big deal. So, you know, just some things to do before we get the starter, and then that'll be a whole complete different episode when I get that next week probably. Wife was tracking it for me. I guess it started off in Virginia, then it was in Maryland, and I didn't find out where it was at last I knew when we were headed over to the dealership to pick up that stuff, which kind of bummer about those locks. But like I said, I'll have to get on the old flea bay and check it out, because I know I've seen that style that I need on there, and you know, go from there. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you learned something about wiring. If not, sorry, but you know, it's what it is. Just another day doing things around the house on the truck. Oh, a couple days, I guess. But yeah, like, share, subscribe if you're interested in this kind of stuff and you like what you see. Hopefully you do. If not, I'm sorry. There's other people you can watch, I guess. But appreciate everybody who has subscribed lately. Big shouts to you guys for the support. You know, that stuff doesn't go unnoticed. Comments, all that. You know, I try to hit people back when I can. I'm busy, but still, you know, chat it up when I can. So, you know what we say, until the next time, we will see ya.